I do mine on Friday mornings. Not at 3 in the morning, but Friday mornings apparently no one really wants to get up that early. I just got up early and got breakfast, did homework or study my scriptures as I was in the laundry room so that I could move things quickly when they were done and not be a burden to
So
anybody else.
I take the campus shuttle from the museum to the tracks, so I don't have to climb up and down the hill.
Mhm.
Somebody had left a Book of Mormon on the campus shuttle.
Nice. Nah, I can move my clothes in probably half an hour. Hopefully, someone will move their clothes by then. But anyway, last time
At
on
least no
your
at least no one took your laundry out of the dryer when it wasn't fully dry. I didn't have that happen to me, but I watched a friend of mine do that to somebody else, and it was a very weird experience.
I'm not that mean.
Mm.
Uh, last week, you had a interesting encounter with Turku the Terror, and Jean blue screened for a bit. Just at the sheer immovable force versus an unstoppable object.
Ding.
Ding! That must mean there's stuff. Sorry.
Probably. I think that means your chicken sandwich is ready, Jen.
Then, after airing your frustrations out on an undeserving Aarakocra, you rested for the evening and went to the emergency council meeting, where you met
right.
where you met several members of the current council, or re-met, as well as some people that are part of the interim. Part of the interim council, while the actual council members are absent.
Including somebody that Tom calls an old guy, even though he looks young.
Yeah, because that guy is a changeling. Changeling by the name of Volt.
Who apparently has to go back to the retirement home.
He was told to go back to the retirement home, but he was also stated to be a rogue, so who knows if he'll do that. But because the rest of the council is busy, you were all put in charge of conducting this investigation.
We've been hired as investigators.
I see no flaw in this.
Much to the impeccable joy of Jean. And you are also taking Avery with you. Or at least you are
told to take Avery.
Instructed to.
Well, he was instructed that as a part of his community service, until proven innocent, he is to help with this investigation.
Right, because they want to blame the circus.
And Tora is your contact for the government.
Yep.
And this week, we begin off with saying to the rest of the council, now, I think until things have been rectified, we will have to instate a mandatory Armor and Arms Act. Those who have and are able to use such things are to wear armor and weapons for their own defense, if they aren't already. Does this sound reasonable?
Like the opposite of a curfew.
Yeah, or an opposite of
It's like the adventuring form of a curfew. This is awesome.
instead of disarming people at the door, they have to be armed to go about town.
Yes.
Curfew doesn't sound too bad.
Is that just for the council members, or is that for everybody in Lair?
Those without official business.
Okay.
Is this going to be mandatory?
Well, considering that you're going to be working on official business, on behalf of us, no, this will not be mandatory on you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Money?
Not like I could enforce it on you anyway.
No, I'm good.
None of you need to be here for that. You can go on about your investigations.
I'm not sure we're getting paid to do this.
See, someone asked the important question. Money.
No less than 250 gold. No less. It is negotiable for a higher rate. Considering this is our country's first crisis.
I can live with that.
Tora will open the door and motion for all of you to leave with her. She's just been kind of standing at the side of the door, almost as if a sentry.
Okay.
As Joan takes her exit, she's just gonna loudly slurp from the container.
Of coffee.
Yes. Just unnecessarily obnoxiously.
He's acting like a cop already.
He just needs to get the donuts.
I don't say that as a way is a means to insult police officers. I just have seen it done as a character thing by police officers in shows and things like that.
When you all leave and brought downstairs, Toro said, "All right, if you'll just wait a moment," she'll go behind a desk and pull out a box and will motion all of you forward.
What's with the box?
She opens it and reaches in and will pull out a small object that fits in the palm of her hands and will hand it out towards just hold it out for whoever to take it. Right.
I love being handed things.
Now for ease of contact, I'm giving everyone sending stones.
Ooh, fancy.
Nice.
These are always useful.
She'll have enough for everyone. And now those of you that are used to different kinds of magical items, or a different kind of sending stone, these can contact any other sending stone that you are aware of, and there is no limit to the word count or the amount of times you can use them.
You've just been given the magical equivalent of a cell phone.
Basically.
Yeah. So I don't really need one of these because I've got something like that already. So you can already contact me, and he'll just pull up this little paper and flip it. It's blank.
Well, if you don't need it, then give it back. These
Yeah.
can be a little expensive.
Yes.
Okay.
And I have a tendency to lose things.
I do not
Very
have
much
much
so.
experience. I will make sure that I keep mine safe.
Quite the opposite. I'm excited. And I don't have one. So I'll take it. For the sake of the investigation, of course.
How expensive was it to get these?
Who knows?
Sorry, I apologize that like there's half the role playing going on in our living room right now. I look at him like Tora's never getting that back, is she? And he just like shrugs.
Who knows?
Who knows? Because he's a rogue.
He's a
Uh,
decently honest rogue. She might, but also she might not.
Exactly.
Do you want to block your lamp so we can see your face?
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Let's see if I can turn it down too.
Oh,
It's there's 3 levels of light.
um, expensive enough. Expensive enough to where if a lawyer were to find some kids handling these, he would probably say put them back.
Expensive enough that if they find these on the black market, I'm sure that we will get our due punishment.
Joan
Or
brings
the
up
ones what happened to us, depending on the story.
Joan kind of brings the thermos back up to her mouth again, kind of just mutters, I find that answer vague and unconvincing.
Isabelle immediately makes sure that she has a safe place to put it in one of her pockets or something like that.
What has it got in its pockets?
Thank you, Smeagol.
No, that's not Smeagol. Well, no, I guess that would be. No, it was Gollum at that time.
True. I use the names interchangeably though, because they are technically the same person, but you are correct. It is technically Gollum at that time.
Yeah, I think this morning I watched like the last few minutes of the last session.
Mhm.
I don't remember if Isley never told everyone else like what she saw.
Yes. The last thing I have in my notes as far as what I relayed to them was that I had seen a late teens boy with short, pitch black hair and a determined look. So I did tell them. I remember that there was one other person who was there, but in a hurry to get back to the circus. So I told the council everything that I could remember seeing, and that you reminded me that I had seen.
Well, thank you, dear. I think it might be prudent for us to start investigating.
Yeah. And Joan just starts walking out.
Do you think it might be prudent for us to split up?
Did Avery get a ascending stone?
Yes. Yes, he did.
Nice.
The only one who doesn't have a sending stone is the physician because he gave it back because he has his paper to communicate, which is blank.
Isley is confused.
Hmm.
Actually, that might just be my own running mental joke when it comes to these people that I'm wandering around with. Isolene is confused.
Isling got hurt, or Isling is confused. Isling hurt herself in confusion.
Pokemon.
My brain's not gonna explode like Psyduck if you're worried about that.
Do you think it might be prudent for us to split up and see if we can cover more ground? Also, do you think you might be able to create an illusion or give an apt description that one could create an illusion so we know who we were looking for?
No. But I could at least, I mean, I could try drawing it out. If drawing them out, that helps.
We can start with that.
I just know that I don't have anything illusionary. Don't mind me as I laugh. Because it's true.
It's not just Isolene. It's everyone.
Yep.
No, you do not get paid.
Well, I might be able to recreate it since I am capable of casting Silent Image.
What would you do with money? You have no hands. Real hand. You have no reason to have money. You don't eat. You don't drink. You don't need a bed. You don't need money.
Are you talking to Clara again?
Oh, no. Have it now.
Wait, okay, then it's not Clara. Who are we talking to?
The old girl. Obviously.
General
He's gonna
like
turn away.
silently
Position.
like turn back to Avery like go ahead and just tell
Yeah,
him
I'm going
stuff.
to abandon trying to understand that for the moment. It's like, okay, Clara and the old girl are separate beings. Okay. Not sure what that means, but okay. And turn back to Avery and start describing the people that I saw so he can cast his illusion.
Alright. So let's go ahead and make this.
Build your own room.
I'm gonna roll an insight for Avery. Okay. That's actually pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's a 19 plus his insight of 4. So 23. I think he gets it regardless of your description.
Okay.
But he'll cast a silent image, and it's pretty he'll do it of actually,
The circus person or the young boy?
hold on,
Or the teen?
see if it's if it can be changed. Alright, so first he'll do the circus person. Is this accurate?
I'm assuming it's.
Yes.
Yes, that would be the person that was rushing back to the circus.
Alright. And we get a good look at it to see so you know who you're looking for. And once everyone's gotten a good look, he'll do the same thing for the boy.
That's also accurate. Thank you, Avery.
if anyone else has illusion magic, it might be prudent for. Well, you can say if has anyone seen either of these two people? No.
And he kind of looks at it. He kind of pokes the silent image to see what happens.
Your hand goes through.
And then upon noticing this, we'll take like an apple or some other small fruit and use his mage hand to make it look like the image is holding. No, but I can do this.
Usually I just do something like this. Who is probably standing next to me?
Me?
Cool. He just turns to you and immediately headbutts you, and you get the image of those kids, like those two people, in your head.
They were already there. Quincy Claro, roll right here.
And it's like really quick. Like you see them, you know that it was accurate, and you know what you were looking at, but it was like it's like when you recall something and you just kind of fleeting thought about it.
I don't need to be reminded. I
Just showing. I don't need illusion magic. I just take it straight from my head and put it into yours.
you have another way of doing that that doesn't involve hitting your head against somebody else's, especially unexpectedly.
That's the fast way. I mean, I could use my hands.
But at least it works.
What did the physician say?
That was the fast way. I can use my hands. Well,
If you want to try another way, please try it on somebody who actually needs the image.
Let's try taking
Actually,
the
as has been going on, as well as the descriptions, Joan's been just writing all this down, as well as like giving like rough sketches of the two people once the illusion's been created.
I demand these sketches. Oh, I gotta make my maps. You know what? I'm gonna do that right now. Well, I will do it after I am done eating graham crackers.
That's what you're eating. I'm sitting here like, it's a cracker of some sort, but what are you eating and what are you dipping it in?
Milk. What was our favorite snack when we were kids? We would do graham crackers and milk.
That makes sense.
Graham crackers. Graham crackers, soak it up just like a sponge.
Was there a dryer available?
Nope.
Huh?
And there never will be.
Okay.
There isn't.
Alright. Okay, so John was writing everything down.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else doing anything? Or are you going to begin your search?
I'm rubbing my forehead from where the physician made me fine.
Why does it always do that?
Well, should we begin at the scene of the crime? There's probably lots to investigate there. I mean, we've already been there, but it sounds like there's new information we could find there, and we have the wonderful Avery who can help us find out about these people and, prove his own innocence.
I actually had a quick question. Here at the physician, I know you guys were at the circus early. Did either of you see the gentleman that I saw running back to the circus? Did you see him amongst the people that were setting things up?
I did notice somebody who came back during that time, but I didn't keep a close eye on them. That matches this description, of course.
So when you refer to the scene of the crime, are you referring to the area near the docks, or are you referring to where we set up?
Where we set up, considering that currently, whether we believe them or not, the council all seems to think it's your fault.
Very well. So I must admit that my people will, given what has happened, they'll be very reluctant on talking with strangers.
That's okay. For whatever reason, people like to tell me things. They'll talk to me.
We're also traveling with you, Avery. I think they'll probably talk to us because you're with us. Unless they don't want to talk to you for some reason, which makes no sense.
Be surprised.
And besides, you did suggest that we could go into separate groups. I mean, there might be something to look for just in the general area. Looking for that boy, probably.
If we're going to split up, how do we want to split up?
Well, considering that Jean and the physician don't seem to like me, perhaps I should go with Jean. Well, no, not Jean. Sahir.
Alright, I missed that
I-
suggestion.
I asked how we wanted to divide people up, and Avery's suggesting that he should go with you because the physician and Joan don't like him. Find it interesting that I'm not even mentioned, but at the same time, I'm probably at best politely ambivalent, so I understand that.
I'm amenable to the suggestion.
I don't know, physician. It might be advisable for you to go with Avery and Zahir as well, since you both are a little more familiar with the area.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I never said I didn't like him. I reserve judgment until you do something stupid.
Didn't you already say he had when he went to Turku for information on Torah?
Excuse me. I do not do stupid things. I make decisions that may be a bit rash at times, but usually end up all right. And
Obnoxious slurping.
thank you, Megan.
If you're talking to the old girl or to Clara, I was thinking that didn't you already have judgment cast on Avery because of him going to Turku about information about Torah?
Torah?
Torah, the
Torah Mura, the flying katana wielding lady,
who's been with us this entire time.
the one who gave us the stones that you returned to her.
Oh, yes. Well, yes, he did make a stupid decision there. But he still has time to make other, stupider decisions.
That doesn't encourage him to do so.
No, that's it. Here's job.
Having a better lay of the land when it comes to the circus grounds, that would actually make more sense to split up those who know the grounds better with people who don't. From a strategic point of view.
I second that.
Which would mean somebody out of the trio of guys should probably split up and pair with us. because we are not as familiar with the circus grounds.
I thought we were going to the circus grounds. To hear Avery.
I thought we were all going to the circus grounds. Because
So
we
are
are.
we splitting up?
I thought we were going to the circus grounds, but splitting up to talk to different people. I don't. Am I wrong?
Well, the group that goes to the circus can then split up further.
We should probably at least have a buddy system going in because we need at least one witness to anything that may or may not happen. And in case somebody gets into something, sticky, some sticky situation, at least they have backup.
I agree with that.
I believe I was already claimed as a buddy for Avery. Just saying.
Well, there you go.
Tora, are you sticking with us or no?
No, I have a job here.
It's a group of 5 and that doesn't split evenly, so I guess we're all going to the circus. Again.
Can we just hear this like coming out of the physician's backpack? I really hope that that's what is happening.
I mean, we can.
The DM has that power to declare so.
Well, I was just wondering if, because Megan, you say things sometimes, but I'm not sure if you're like acting as the voices that the physician is talking to. And so in my head, I see if that's what you're doing, that's coming out of his bag.
I mean, to be honest, I'm saying stuff, and sometimes it goes in line with what Jennifer's character is doing. So I'm literally just letting Arthur roll it how he sees fit. If he wants to have my comments be the bunny, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Gotcha.
I mean, given what I know about the rabbits, I think Galley's that bit is fair game.
The circus music coming out of the bag.
Alright, so say everyone's going to the circus. Alright.
I guess so. We're not splitting up after all. Probably for the best. Probably. Maybe not for Avery. But everyone else.
Yeah.
When you get there, the tent is still set up. Seems like everything has been left to where it was.
Is there any crime scene tape or its equivalent?
What does the floor say?
The floor declares at angle.
I declare that floor rules are not valid.
Understand.
That is a natural one, so no. No crime scene tape. Tooth was not present.
Darn.
If everything was left as it was, are the bodies of the crystalline zombies still there?
No, they have been removed.
Okay.
There is a powder chalk outline of where they were.
No crime scene tape, but the body outline. Awesome.
Oh, good. I was about to ask you if this was not being investigated properly, or if Avery's people, and if Avery's people were just lazy, or if they hadn't done it because somebody told them not to.
But you do notice as you're approaching, on your first approach, there is another one of those chalk outlines, but it's outside the tent. It's you think it's about the same size as that shadowy creature that was inside the tent last night.
I was gonna say, was someone dead there last night? I don't remember anybody being outside the tent, I don't think. I should remember this. We didn't go drinking last night.
Or did you go drinking? You just don't remember because you drank so much.
No, we faced Turku the Terror. We didn't go drinking.
My head feels perfectly fine, thank you very much.
Yeah, I was thinking you're not working off the mother of all hangovers right now.
Some people are.
My head doesn't feel fine, but for a completely different reason. No, that one looks more like the beast that we saw in, like the shape of the beast that we saw inside. But I didn't. Why is it outside the tent?
Verifies Turku's claim, but who knew that Turku found a beast there?
Turku did. That's the only.
Who put these chalk outlines
Yeah, who put
here?
Turku lines here?
The mystery deepens.
That's the real mystery here. Who made the chalk outlines?
How did they know about the second shadow beast?
You're no longer investigating the crystalline zombie's appearance. No, you have to find out where the chalk outlines came from.
Where'd they get so much chalk?
This sounds like the sort of distractibility that would come about from a day investigating this.
Yep. Joan goes, kind of ignores the outline at the front of the tent and actually goes inside of it and just tries to figure out what caused the beast summoning. If there's anything that would indicate it.
Right,
Is there a chalk outline of the beast inside too?
Yes.
Okay.
No, my dice.
Alright, so...
Well, somebody should probably go speak with this employee of Avery's. Including Avery, but...
Well...
Yep.
Shall we, Sahir? I think, given what... given your particular expertise, you might get along more soundly with the rest of them.
I think that sounds all very well to me.
Alright. Jean, first roll investigation.
Okay.
I
How
do
are we
want to know
split?
if
That's
it's
not
anything
bad.
weird where that beast showed up, but that's somebody else can figure that out.
Do we have like 2 and 3? Is that what's happening?
Yep.
Here in Avery, you're going off to question the circus
People.
personnel that I saw. Or, oh, is it the circus personnel in general, or was it specifically the person that I saw?
I suggested the one that we saw, but
Why not both?
maybe the others know stuff too.
Both is good.
Anything more suspicious than the gnome flinger around here recently?
Or anything more suspicious than the physician launching himself into the gnome flinger?
It's a 21 on investigation.
Alright, now roll Arcana.
Ooh, Arcana.
Roll all the magic.
That's even better. Okay. 23.
Yay!
Well, it has to be magical. You know that for sure. Yeah, after looking around, you're not quite sure who. Now, you're pretty sure it had to be a ritual of some kind. But these creatures, they were aberrations. So they're not native to this plane, you don't think.
Stupid.
On that roll, would I be able to tell how, I guess, powerful the spell had to be to summon this aberration?
I mean, they were. Well, to just summon one, they'd have to be a somewhat powerful magic caster. But to summon two, they would have to be at the least twice as powerful as for one, if not exponentially more powerful.
Okay.
Or it was a group.
Well, it could be a group, or it could be a magical item that you have yet to hear of.
Either way, reasonably powerful stuff.
Yes. Iseline and the physician have anything they want to specifically investigate before we go over to Sahir and Avery?
It's music. I wanted to investigate the outlines of where the crystal-like zombies are.
Okay.
I rolled a 9, or I have a 9.
I mean, it looks like just the same as when you left. I mean, there are a few more footprints on the ground. That could just be like whoever moved the bodies or put down the chalk.
You see one chalky footprint leaving the scene.
No.
They're better at their chalk outlines than that. This wasn't an amateur job.
Sorry, I have to admit, all I'm getting in my head is just, we're now Mystery Inc., we're the Scooby-Doo gang, and I'm just not sure which one of us is Scooby.
Bravo.
Well, if Shaggy and Scooby are the troublemakers.
No, they're not the troublemakers. They're the ones that the bad guys go after all the time because they're the most frightenable. Most easily frightened. Frightenable?
Most easily frightened.
Thank you.
If there were troublemakers in that crew, they're the closest.
Actually, Velma is probably closest, and maybe even Fred.
For troublemakers?
Yeah.
Is Fred the one that plans everything and Velma's the one that always pieces together all the clues?
No, Velma's always investigating, losing her glasses, and encountering who knows what, and Fred's always obsessed with traps.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Are you saying you and Avery are Velma and Fred?
No.
I mean, they could be.
Who's Velma and Fred?
Ooh, I have.
We were thinking that maybe Avery and Sahir were those two.
For Shaggy and Scooby was what I was implying at.
You were implying that they're Shaggy and Scooby? I like that. Avery is Scooby.
Actually, Arthur, a clarifying question.
Yes.
When it comes to material components, when they're used, do they just get completely used up, or is there some remnant of their usage left behind?
If they have if the spell specifically says the material is consumed,
The room's right off the kitchen.
then it's consumed. Otherwise, it stays.
Okay.
Don't go this way.
Don't go this way. I like how I didn't have to have that on my map. Just kitchen, library, Isling's room, and other rooms. The Joan and here don't go this way. Library.
I think Jones also has you will get lost.
You will get lost. Yeah.
I just have a 25% chance of just ending up lost regardless.
I love that Jones has a women's bathroom on it, but mine doesn't.
I'm pretty sure that the library is not even kind of in the same place on Jones and Isoline's.
Well, because there's a library with a pool, and then there's a library, so there might be two separate libraries.
Yes.
Did the physician have
kitchen's around the corner in one of them and isn't in the other?
Who's she with? Who's with?
Physician, did you have anything that you wanted to take a look at specifically?
You're probably with Joan and I because Avery and Sahir were going to go off to interview the circus personnel.
Okay. You guys went.
We solemnly swear that we're up to no good. No, wait, that's the wrong thing to say.
Thank you, Brett.
That's right. Where did you guys go?
Joan, well, we're in the tent. Joan was looking at, she's investigating the summoning of the shadow beasts. I was investigating like where the crystalline zombies had fallen. So that's where we are. We've seen an outline of a shadow beast on the outside of the tent as well as one on the inside of the tent, which lends credence to Turku's tale of having killed one of the shadow beasts himself.
Although, who laid the chalk outlines that knew about that thing? It's a very intriguing.
No. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plop down in the middle of the tent and do a ritualistic casting of detect magic to see if I can find anything that might be the source of how these things got here. Especially since we know that the shadow creatures were some sort of aberration. I'll probably start with that because I know what the source of that could like. It would be an aberration magic kind of thing.
Or conjuration.
Yeah.
You don't get anything that is still lingering.
So whatever it was has probably been removed. Or got used up.
Yeah. There's nothing else, then we'll go on to the two interviewers.
Who's good cop, who's bad cop?
I don't really know. I was gonna say Sahir is good cop, but he's the manager at Ghost Cop, so we might have sent two good cops.
Well, no, like I just realized
maybe Avery will be the bad cop. Who knows?
Like I was just realizing that it actually fits more of like a cop drama theme better than the Scooby-Doo aspect because of the fact that like Isley would definitely be the rookie. The physician's the one that uses like the innovative new fandangled methods, and then Joan is like the long-suffering captain who just wants her coffee and trying to get down to business. And then you have Sahir and Avery, who are kind of the rogue cops that sometimes get themselves into a little bit more trouble than they should, but end up getting their man at the end. Maybe.
Alright, so Joan, if we're using the TV series Monk as an analogy, Joan is Captain Stottlemyre, The position is monk.
Which means that I'm probably the one helping Monk. What's her name again? Charlene?
Well, Sharona was the
Sharona.
first one.
My Sharona.
Good job.
And I forget what Stahlmeyer's like right-hand man's name was.
The butt end of the joke.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never watched Monk actually.
It's been years since I've seen any Monk, so.
I just
I
started
have no clue
season
what we're
2.
talking about.
It's an old detective show.
Oh, I know. Because I knew the guy, I knew Monk, like the actor from Galaxy Quest.
Alright. And so, Avery will lead you around the backside of the tent, where all the circus people are all gathered around talking. At least most of them, from what you could guess. All right, everyone, stop talking and gather around.
Sorry. I just forgot that I had a black light, invisible ink, sonic screwdriver.
Oh yeah, that's very nice.
Except the lid won't come off.
Now, I say we'd go over what happened last night, this morning, and well, it is now morning, and I've got my business done. Some of the people I look over at here before looking back at Avery. What's with the newcomer? He is somewhat one of us. He says in Thieves' Cant. But to the point.
Huh?
Turns out that the people that had the unfortunate happenstance of having crystals grow all over them were all in the same place yesterday. And there are 2 others. One of them was, we have reason to believe, is one of us. A crowd murmurs amongst themselves.
The crowd of circus actors.
Now, who was it that was not present yesterday when we were first setting up? I wonder. Who was away while I was conversing with a particular informant? Now, I'm not mad, just disappointed. But seriously, who was it? No one steps forward. No? No volunteers? So here, does anyone in this crowd look particularly suspicious?
Yes, there was a great trick. You're really good at those, you know. Who looks like that person? Do I see that person?
Roll perception.
How's a 25?
Yeah, you see him.
So here we'll describe their location in the crowd, like third person from the right, three back. Start describing their features after that, but it's already given Avery the exact, Avery already knows too. About right.
You are certainly one for the crowds. Yes. Johannes, come forward. There was a human man, steps forward. Johannes, what were you doing over by the docks this afternoon? I was doing what was asked. I was out going and getting some foodstuffs for everyone once the performance was done. Everyone puts his hand on his shoulder. There's no need to be scared, friend. Just go ahead. Tell us. Tell us everything. Well, there was there was an elf that you had a very funny accent. Because he and this little teenage boy with very, very black hair. He said like, you want to help in what was it? Elevating yourself to a higher position in society. Getting rid of tyrants. Well, they give me this like heavy bag. I kind of felt like rocks or like rocky dust. I say like, you are a circus performer. Like, it spreads this around to the some people, and we can get started with our revolution. I think they said. I would say like they handed me the bag and so the elf like very quickly disappeared, but the boys like gathered a lot of people around, saying like, "Hey, this is a circus performer here. He's going to perform some magic." And it's like, so I tried to do like one of your tricks, and I think I did very good, sir. They're like very good. So, like spread forth the dust. Me, the guy said like told me not to breathe in this stuff, and that if I didn't like tell anyone, that everything would be alright.
But not for long.
You got all that to hear.
Zahir has this look on his face that for just a moment kind of looks appalled, but then it goes back to a very happy calm demeanor that's very inviting, and he says, "Yes, I got all that. We'll have to talk about foodstuffs at another time. Great stuff, I like to cook too."
You think that was like enough that we? You think we should let him off the hook?
Well, I mean, he's your man, Avery.
Hmm. That is true. He like takes a step like back away from the man because, well, these are difficult times, and some people they're not as kindly as others. I look back at the man and say, "Refrisat in pace." Oh, quickly I draw out his rapier and I slice the man's neck before wiping the rapier and putting it back into the cane sheath. The rest of the squad quickly catch the body and will put pressure around the wound to make sure it doesn't bleed everywhere, or at least not enough to where they can quickly clean it up.
Dead?
Yeah, the guy's dead.
Sure, just want a clarification. I know I'm not there, but it's for my notes.
Yeah.
Huh.
Now, I know some of you will think that's cruel of me. I rather think it's a mercy. Better let him die now than be tortured at the hands of Turku the Terror. Now, I fully expect the rest of you to cooperate as much as we are willing to clear ourselves. We are, of course, under suspicion. That will be all. Unless, do you have any questions for the rest?
Was that directed at Zahir?
Yes.
Oh, okay. No, I mean, think you have gotten the point across. It would be a shame for these people and for you to go down when I think we have our man. And they know that we're under suspicion, so more power to us.
Alright, everyone else, lay low as much as circus people can. And
We'll have to meet again under better circumstances when this is all done.
Indeed. Come now, I'm sure that the others have found something. If not, perhaps we can help them.
Yes. At the very least, we have one more man to add to our chase.
Well, we have a net total of 0 people gained or lost in our search.
That's one way of looking at it, sure.
The 2 of you will get back as the physician finishes his look around, or his first look around. Don't know if it wants to make multiple rounds looking for stuff.
Is there anything interesting in the stands at all? Anything left behind?
Roll investigation.
That's a natural one
No.
for a total of 5.
So you know how bleachers are often you have the sitting place and then it's below it is a step before it goes up to another seat.
Mm-hmm.
You trip on that stuff and face first onto a bleacher.
Yay.
You don't take any points of
Oh,
damage, but
oh.
it does hurt.
So she's allowed to headbutt things to get information, but I get yelled at.
A trick position. It's not the same thing. I doubt she was intending to headbutt the bleachers.
You
And
don't
I'm probably
know
like,
that.
John sits up a little confused, like, wait, where'd the thermos go?
Do I see where did I see where the thermos went?
Your passive is 15.
Hmm.
Yeah.
My
You all know where it went. You just like dropped it and it like rolled off the side.
I go over to retrieve the mug so that I can give it back to her. Are you okay, Joan?
I'll live. It's not the first time I've ever hit my head on anything that was mildly solid.
That was not
Thank you,
intentional.
though.
You're welcome.
No, of course. Why would I intentionally hit my head on something?
Ask the physician because he gave me an airful as soon as you fell.
Well,
And I'm just gonna like pointedly look at him. It's like kind of and like gesture to her. It's like, you see.
actually, and
Say
Joan
that,
will actually lean in a little closer. Well, he's not totally insane. I'm pretty sure that box, that weird blue box thing, actually has a mind of its own.
You think that could be the old girl he was talking about earlier?
What's a blue box?
I put money on it.
What blue box? Avery says as he and Sahir like join you.
Oh,
Hi.
It's a pretty blue box.
The physician will have just been kind of randomly looking at things and just been like, oh, look, I found someone.
You found me, I guess.
I don't
we
know. I'm
found
trying to be
some.
gentle. She just hit her head. She might not be all there. I think she was trying to copy what I did earlier, but doesn't realize that you need to have a brain to do it. And the bleachers don't.
And
Least I
all the
don't
coffee's
think they do.
empty. Great.
I'm gonna look at it. I'm like looking between this physician and Avery. It's like I'm tripped. Oh, did you find anything amongst your people, Avery?
Yes, one of them was responsible for distributing this shard scale, whatever it was. That they have been dealt with. They're being given the requisite punishment.
Wouldn't that be better handled by the people in authority here, as like the council?
Perhaps. But well, that search was done. He did say that those that gave him the stuff was a black-haired teenager and an elf, I believe it was.
Did I see an elf? Because I'm like, I saw the guy from the circus, I saw the teenage boy, but I didn't see an elf, did I?
No.
Okay, well, I didn't see an elf. And I mean, I understand you being able to deal with your own people, but considering that it affects the people of Blair, I think it'd be best for us to be able to deliver this person to Oru at least. I mean, for us.
The longer that they go without punishment, the faster that Turku will find out. And
Anyways, well, we maybe we did find the person that was holding the bag, we have not found the mastermind behind the scheme.
So wait.
The person that was holding the bag?
Told us there was an elf and a black-haired person that you would recognize.
What happened to the person?
No consequence.
What? Wait.
Happened
So
to
you got
person here.
you got partial information and could have potentially gotten more, but you didn't.
But he's
Why?
being punished, but I'm wondering what kind of punishment this is because it's sounding as I'm afraid to think what I might be thinking. Where is this person?
Insight.
Yeah, I'm on that boat too. Probably not going to like. Oh boy.
Okay, that's about average. Oh. 16.
Avery
That's
seems
my
to be.
base
What are you,
bonus.
don't
It
even know
seems
if
like
I'm
that
going.
they've dealt with the issue properly. Like, you don't know exactly what, but they're circus people. What they can't really do much.
Well, I got a 34.
34.
Mm-hmm. Am I getting a secret message? Oh. Oh. That's.
It was enough information. It was enough to go off of that. It was an elf with a funny accent and a black-haired teenager.
The physician has definitely gone into a stony cold silence and is openly glaring at Avery.
Black-haired teenager whom we already recognize. And now we know what to ask them.
I have a very bad feeling about this, but I don't exactly know what it is, and I'm not sure if I want to.
Shame we only have an accent to go off of for our elf.
And an association with our black-haired fellow that we know exactly the appearance of.
Well, we know who to go after next.
Wait.
Don't just sound and look so jaded right now, like, oh, this again.
Do you need like something to drink?
Me?
No.
No, I
Oh.
think he's asking.
No,
Avery's asking Joan.
I've sworn that off for.
You got right to the
I've been
investigation.
able to swear that off for the last 6 months. I'm not breaking it now.
Because, like, I swiped I think an endless cask of whiskey from, like, a really short person. But then again, I think that person also swiped me of everything that was in my pockets.
I'm sorry, a cask?
Well, a flask.
Oh, flask.
Flask or canteen.
Oh my god! Can I do like a history check to see if I know what that cask is?
Yeah.
Class.
Oh shit! I think I do. Um,
Joan will just shake her head. No, I need to keep on coffee.
33?
Based off what you've heard, you think this might be like a container from like a leprechaun named Tooth?
You stole Tooth's whiskey? He's gonna murder you, which you deserve because you just murdered somebody else.
Wait, who murdered who now?
What do you think happened with the punishment? You better hand over that flask. Because I'm gonna be the least of your problems if Tooth finds out you have it.
Anyone object with me just getting in front of Tooth and dealing with it now?
Look, you're not gonna want to deal with an angry Tooth. He bites. And he will go down kicking and screaming and probably setting a bunch of things on fire.
He'll probably
I mean, it does fit the play.
I also have this vision of him like sending Lunch to assist in all of this craziness. And I
Little
see
did you know that Lunch has been leveling up with him and
Oh yeah.
Lunch running along with like a torch in his mouth.
He's like freaking he's become freaking Reaper-Cheek. He's got a freaking saber and he's just gonna stab you.
He's got his
right
own
in the
little
kneecaps. He's gonna sever your tendon so that your legs no longer hold you up.
No, he has his own little battalion called the Snacks.
I love it.
That's canon. I'm keeping that.
I love this creepy Lunch.
So Avery, it's like when you say that is. Well,
one of them better be a goldfish.
Yeah, please.
Well, okay, then I'll just wait a moment. I have to go get it. I don't exactly have it on me.
Don't actually look back at the position. So are you going to object with me doing something really unfortunate to him, or no?
Who, to Avery?
Avery.
So here we'll lean over
No,
to
absolutely will not.
really
Whatever
good
you plan, he probably deserves.
plan right now. I'm not sure I can help you with this one.
You didn't want to be right.
Alright, after a minute, Avery will come back with a flask.
Actually, Joan will. I imagine we're still in the tent, so he has to walk back through the front flap, right?
Yeah.
Joan will lie in waiting right behind the flap for when he comes back. And then use my decanter of endless water on him.
Alright, first off, roll a stealth check.
Okay.
Yeet.
Disadvantage, that's unfortunate. Stealth, that's an 11.
So you wait by the entrance, and you're just like, you're that classic waiting to either pour water on someone or throw a water balloon at someone.
No, it's like this.
Yeah. It's like that classic prank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the rest of you, like, Avery comes, like, walking in from the other side of the tent, like, when he's, like, looking at the entrance of the tent, like, shaking his head.
John will start walking up to him.
Here's the flask. You really make this Tooth fellow sound particularly scary.
Yeah, he's a frickin' leprechaun. with a vendetta streak.
It's true.
I mean,
Leopard
he used to travel with Taliesin. I assume you know that name.
Well, I
I
know that-
confess I don't.
Oh, you uncultured. He's only the greatest bard that ever lived.
For shame.
Bard.
Somewhere, Erden feels a disturbance in the force.
It was like, no, like I imagined Erden eventually just figured out, okay, I don't know how I'm gonna keep track of him, so I'm just gonna put this little stone in his bag that is always gonna tell me exactly where he is. I don't care if he drops it or not. I won't do anything with it, but I'll know what he's doing. Like, there's, oh no, something's happened.
Dun, dun,
Feel
dun.
disturbance to the force. You'll always feel disturbance to the force.
Yes, but this time it's Tooth, I think.
Let's see. Right now, Tooth is going through the phases of depression because he can't find his flask. And he can't go through the sad part, the depression part of this, because he doesn't have his flask to get drunk, which just makes him even sadder.
I just imagine, like, somehow psychically his crew just hears a
Wait, I think that like cut out on Jen's thing, but I may have heard it through Maggie's.
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
That's exactly what happened.
It made it kind of sound spooky and psychic.
Which actually added to the effect. Like,
perfect. That was my goal all along.
this isn't an Adea problem. This isn't the occasional Brina problem. No. This is a Tooth problem. I can tell.
Why do I have the feeling that any occasional breeding problem would have to do with an animal?
Animal or bakery.
Animals in a bakery!
I just feel at some point Brina's just gonna go up to Tooth and be like, "Did you check your bag? Did you try your bag?"
Did you try the bag where you can pull random stuff out?
It'd be really funny if Tooth pulled it out of the bag.
Like the physician had it in his hand and then all of a sudden it's just gone because Tooth pulled it out of his bag.
Yes.
I love that idea.
Oh, that I can roll for that real quick.
Please succeed. Please succeed. Please succeed.
It does succeed.
Yeah. Okay, so Avery like hands the flask over to
And
the
it
physician, and the
disappears.
flask disappears.
Hold it.
You're welcome.
Avery like looks where the flask was. Like, what in the nine
Wait.
hills?
I was gonna say,
He has this bag, and every now and then he can just yank things out of the universe. The things I have seen come out of that bag that shouldn't work could probably rival the TARDIS. Just saying. He pulled an entire canoe out once. And I'm not talking a leprechaun-sized canoe. I'm talking a canoe for normal people.
I'm confused how that and the TARPus relate, but okay.
level of insanity that this bag must be because the TARDIS is already a little bit of a mind bend.
It's just simple physics.
What is physics?
That's right. Physics hasn't really been discovered yet. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
I feel at some point that the doctor will get a note that says, from Taliesin, that says, Tooth says thank you.
Oh, good. I'm glad he has manners. It's just like on the psychic paper.
Nice to know that the Whims of Fate are still traveling together, even if they don't have Tong.
I'm sure what happened is that at some point Tong was like, "You guys are fucking weird. Like, this is just too much. Like, Rada, good luck."
No, Tong went on a date and never came back.
I can think of what that date would be.
I was gonna say, I can see that happening very easily, actually.
I know with whom.
And I can see Sabrina fretting about it.
Yeah, I know with whom too, because her girlfriend had to follow her to this world.
Oh, that's fun.
Okay.
Anyway.
Weird flask outside.
Alright, so we gotta find some half-elf or elf or something with a funny accent. I mean, to be fair, you all have funny accents, so I don't really understand, like, how funny are we talking here?
It would
You're
have
funny
been,
to the guy with funny accent, so.
well, it would have been nice to be able to ask him.
Given whom we've gone around with, I would think someone from the Myk'Isle region.
Say that
The
again?
what?
Given where we have traveled, probably somewhere from the Myk'Isle region. Yeah.
And that would be...
Would I know where that is?
You're from the Myk'Isle region.
I just know it from Swanville. I didn't realize that that's actually where it was.
So that entire map is
It's
Myk'Isle.
marked. Okay. So you mean they speak like me?
I either speak like you or speak similar to you.
I mean, to be fair, regional dialects also tend to vary from, education and knowledge and where people live. Just because he spoke funny doesn't mean that necessarily you speak funny.
Oh, I
You seem
wasn't.
well
Oh no, you all definitely speak funny. There's nothing wrong with that, you just sound really funny.
I wasn't taking offense here. I was saying that it would have been helpful to have been able to talk to the gentleman. Because then we could have identified if it was my dialect from Swanbell or if it was from another area of my homeland.
I 100% agree.
I mean, if you have speak with
We did
Dad,
not
you
know
can
a man
go ahead
who
and ask.
funny accent.
No, you killed the man who could have identified it. So you killed the one person that actually heard said accent and could have identified it.
Other than the black-haired man that we already know what he looks like and know is associated with the funny accent.
Yeah, but we had one person that was actually more on our side than against it. I'm mostly glaring at Avery, but I'm saving a couple glares for here as well.
Aye.
And you see what I mean? He did have time to make another stupid decision.
And like
I would
I am
counter that it was smart because Turku exists on this island.
And I think Turku would understand if we were trying to get more information out of him before you just up and murdered him.
Why didn't we just hand him to Turku?
Just for clarification, I'm not like Iseline doesn't necessarily look absolutely mad. She looks like more confusedly. Yeah, but also just like flabbergasted that this is happening because it's like
the glares at Sahira, the like, how did you let this happen?
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
I for one had no part in encouraging of bad decision making.
I think it's just like, yes, I understand the threat from Turku. But at the same time, we are tasked with an investigation and you killed our main witness.
Anyone know a cleric? I've heard that they can speak to the dead if we really need it. Anyway.
Wait, not. We do know a cleric. It's just very odd
What do you classify as odd?
Okay, look.
I know a lot of odd people. Odd people are very interesting most of the time.
Odd in that this pseudo-dragon is a cleric.
Oh, Chomper? Yes, but she doesn't know what she's a cleric of.
Still a cleric.
We'll get lucky.
Quite frankly, I don't care what she's the cleric of.
Well, I guess we could ask Chomper to see if she could help. We wouldn't have to ask her to help if you had just stayed calm.
I highly doubt that we're going to get anything useful. If anything, we can either get a conclusion of as to whether your accent is the funny accent or not.
He can describe the difference between my accent and the funny accent that he heard, then I might be able to place it because it's from my homeland.
Oh, poor Avery.
Yes, but we do
Lizzie.
know the relative location of this very suspicious elf. Homeland. Elf's homeland.
You do also realize that I am also an elf? There's a lot of us back there.
All right. There's a teenager also involved in this. Is it the same teenager?
Yes.
Yes.
Sounds
All
like
right.
it.
Well, maybe if we find
Breaking up.
the teenager,
This is bad.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
This is impressively bad.
Incredibly bad.
Hey,
Yeah, Jen, log off.
you froze.
Something about a teenager.
Hold on. I'm gonna log off and see if that helps with her internet since she's
Okay.
playing.
And I will take this time to go check to see if any dryers are open.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Sorry, the internet just decided it didn't want to exist anymore.
And Megan logged off.
Connection
Yes.
better now?
Huh?
I said, is your connection better now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, my internet shut off.
Oh, okay. Because I got off the call because I wasn't sure, like.
No,
Like, that would help
like
her?
it just disconnected from the internet. I looked
Oh.
down and it was just gone.
Oh, okay. Because
But it's attached now.
Okay. The last thing we heard was it's a teenager.
Nice.
Oh, that's more
I
than
say
we heard. It was
movement
just very, very slow. It was like,
Yeah.
What I was saying is that we
Well,
need to go talk to the teenager, and that we shouldn't make any rash decisions because they are a child. We're not murdering any children.
Could have been murdering anyone.
This
We
is what I
shouldn't
was
be.
trying to say. We have the next person to go talk to.
But do we know where to find the teenager?
No.
Teenagers hang out.
No, we don't.
The club.
What?
Literally, the one useful person in this entire situation is dead.
All right.
Because of
I'm gonna
Avery.
swap my laundry real quick.
Go.
Okay. Laundry break.
With the boots, with the fur. The whole club was looking at her.
You know, maybe I should play my rogue character next. I'm getting really tired of. I'm getting really tired of all these murder-worthy people having such excessive evasion or perception.
Not gonna lie, I'm a little bit ticked off your character right now because of how the freak are you so flippin' calm. Like, you're honestly portraying that you were okay with what happened.
Well, maybe I'm just trying to ignore it. The hero has probably seen lots of questionable things. And heard lots of questionable things, and things that he knows better than to repeat. He does have a very large clientele from all walks of life.
I can understand. Fiddling doesn't, but I can understand.
Here also see that have pirates have a code of conduct, rogues have a code of conduct, and he has been dealt with according to this group of rogues for code of conduct. At least that's how the here sees it.
There was so much more information we could have gotten out of that idiot. Might have had rocks for brains, but we could have asked him questions.
All right. Anyway.
No, if we're really desperate for information, once we get a little bit more, we could always go back to Turku. Anybody fancies that idea?
Mm.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Doctor does not like him. Where did you get the milk?
This is why I wanted to clarify that Avery had dispatched Johannes.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm sitting here like, he took rapier to the neck. I'm feeling he's dead. Dead? Yeah, dispatched. Okay. I understand the mercy to protect him from Turku, but at the same time, we could have had a better lead.
Here also just proved that he is not as good aligned as the rest of the party. That doesn't make him equally aligned, but he may be a lot more neutral than a good portion of the party is. Is the lead into position, and I'll put you to here.
Very easily.
Hey. The upper dryers.
Sit here. For once, guys, it wasn't actually my fault.
I'm so glad we had Tooth here to be able to pull that off, though.
Based off what I heard, it was going to get interesting if it wasn't.
Ow.
Okay, so something about a teenager.
Yes.
We need to
Oh,
find
yeah.
her.
Yeah.
So we look for the teenager. And remember that when we're getting information from the teenager, that the teenager is a child, and we will not harm a child. And if somebody harms a child, I will.
Only kill
Oh,
in
that's not.
self-defense.
Huh?
Only kill in self-defense. Got it.
I've heard that excuse before.
Is there anything else that your circus man said before you dispatched him?
I mean, it depends on how much you want to know. And how much you think is relevant. Because he said he tried to pull off one of my tricks and he thinks he did it.
The moment,
What,
Avery, anything that man said was relevant because you eliminated him as us being able to further question him. Tell me everything he said.
He expressed an interest in food stuff.
Like here? Shut up.
No, I think he was saying that he was out on an errand to get us food.
Okay.
And
Aaron to get his food. Is that what led him to the docks?
Yes. And that the funny elf with the elf with the funny accent called him over along with that teenager, handed him a bag of what felt like dust or rocky dust. Did try to pull off one of my tricks when the teenager called a bunch of people over and was told not to breathe. Oh, and the funny speaking elf left before he did this.
I take it that the bag that he was given is obviously the source of contagion, and the poor crowd that I happened to see was the group.
So it sounds like you just
This
missed it.
reminds me, check to see if this bag is still among his effects.
That would be a good idea. I'm glad you still have some of them.
I mean, knowing him, he probably dropped it.
Can we check just in case?
Well, we shouldn't make any assumptions that would make us bad detectives.
We're already bad detectives.
Wow, some of us are.
I think you've actually said.
You've just got done confirming you are.
I'm not a detective.
Yes, that's what makes you a bad one. Did you not figure that one out?
You can't be a bad one if you're not one to begin with.
Could we please go through his effects to see if we can locate any further evidence, since we cannot
This
question?
isn't.
Yes, go, but be sure to not disturb any of the performers, since well, those that are disposing of the body are well, they're not happy already.
I wonder why.
Because one of our own betrayed us?
I'd say two, but okay.
No, you don't understand our dynamic.
No, I don't.
Would it make you
I
feel
don't think
better
you
if I
explained-
went with you?
I was hoping you'd. All I've seen of the circus grounds is the tent itself. I do not know where I am going. I was hoping that you would actually lead me to where I needed to go first. So yes, if you would be willing to accompany me, that would be helpful.
Huh.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah,
good
I
enough.
think I'm gonna tag along.
Thank you, physician.
So,
You're welcome.
to make things simple, he does lead you there, but you don't find anything. And
So glad that we.
it seems like the longer you search here, the more you get the feeling that Avery knows his people well, incredibly well.
I don't think Italy's so used to working with this sort of crowd.
No. Sorry, could you
Huh.
repeat that?
The longer that you are searching for any of the guy's things, the more you get the feeling that Avery really knows his people, like to the point that he is like knows like who is bound to leave things where.
Okay. Well, Avery, it appears you are correct that he didn't have it with him, dropped it somewhere. I'm so glad that we checked, so thank you for allowing us to do so and helping us to do so.
Well, where to now, detectives?
Well, we gotta figure out where we can find this teenager. Where do teenagers hang out in this town?
That's a good question.
In the club.
No, we already looked there. There's a pub that's in built that's almost built, but there's no club.
To believe that teenagers all hang out in one place would be the first folly.
Well, it's either that or the mall, but I don't know if this place has one.
I
Your
would
guess
have
is
no
as
idea.
good as mine.
Yeah, you could probably ask Tora.
All right. Then we head out to the streets. All right. We ask people if they have, people who spend a lot of time out there, people like street vendors or things like that. You might notice things. We get our our rogue to ask around for other rogues. They keep their eye out on things like that. Not terribly difficult. So I think we can manage that.
Like an excellent opportunity to find out, to go back and get that tea. Also, before that sounds like I'm distracted. You guys found nothing, yes?
No.
Nothing.
Might also be a good opportunity to find out if anybody is trying to sell suspicious gym dust.
Yes, that too.
I think the only thing that we were able to tell was that the shadow beasts were operations summoned, but in a way that was kind of easy to tell from when they came. They were there.
Alright, so I'd like everyone to roll investigations.
Well,
Really
I'm gonna
investigate.
head to bed. I've got work in the morning. Good night, y'all.
Alrighty. Good night, Megan.
Nat 20!
Woo! Congratulations! You knows the everything.
Got
14.
to 19.
So, natural 20, 19.
Investigation, right?
Yes.
10.
10 and 14?
14.
Isn't still worked up about the fact that Avery murdered the witness.
Now, some people are very preoccupied by the previous phase of the investigation, and you're not really able to find anything. Physician, you are able to gather that most of the teenagers on the island seem to gather like towards the rice fields, mostly to complain that there's nothing to do on this island.
So typical teenagers.
Gather on the what field? That
Near
what
the rice
fields?
field.
Near the rice fields.
Oh, the rice fields.
So here, you learn that there has the description of the teenager you're looking for in particular has only appeared in the past few days, and no one seems to have noticed him coming on a ship. But he also doesn't hang out. Yeah, but he also doesn't hang out with the teenagers. Seems to be doing his own thing.
Interesting. Very interesting.
You get this from like a guy that is selling some fruits over in the marketplace.
Oh, perfect. I needed more fruits for some tricks anyway. I buy some of his fruit.
How much are you buying?
3 of the roundest fruits that he has.
3 of the roundest or ripest?
Yeah. Roundest.
Right.
Preferably ripe too, but
He walks over to the rest of us with like 3 ginormous cantaloupes in his arms, like, what did you guys find?
that'd be even funnier because he wants to try and juggle them.
Let's say it's like a silver for all of that.
Sure. I'd also like to buy my tea if it's anywhere nearby.
Yeah, we can say that's for like 2 copper.
Excellent. We have lime tea and chamomile tea.
And Joan will stop by that coffee shop again and fill up the thermos.
Okay.
I better have this in my
I don't remember
inventory.
what the price of that was.
I think it was a silver a cup.
That sounds about right. We can check the vids to confirm that.
Oh no, I remember it. Found that to be a very excessive price.
Well, yeah, it has to be imported.
Yeah, I know.
So, Joan and Isla, you're a bit too preoccupied with
The ramifications
Yeah.
of what Avery's done, yeah.
That you were probably walking in at the back of the group, like, my goodness, why do we have to deal with him again?
I don't know.
As the Prime Minister said so.
I don't understand.
What kind of fruits did I get?
You probably get like some cantaloupes, yeah. So nice big ones.
Excellent. I need
There,
a place to practice.
there is a point where, as you're walking along, he does seem like to get distracted, and he is talking. It seems to like no one in particular.
Avery?
Avery, yes. But
To
it's
hear
like
with
a
a lot
very it's a very short conversation, wherever it is, or at least he says at most like 25 words to whoever he's talking to.
That'd be like a perception check to see what was going on there? Or...
Yeah. Like, what check would that be?
Well, to hear what he's saying, perception, to know what's going on, Arcana.
I'm rolling perception.
As am I.
I got a 13.
22 Arcana.
22? Okay, so he's on the receiving end of a sending spell.
15 perception.
He's like, I would love to take that commission, but I'm currently being forced to do community service by the Prime Minister.
Who's on a sending spell right now?
Avery.
Avery.
Oh. Mm.
So after probably a couple of hours, you gather together to, I presume, talk about what you've found.
The hero returns with an armful of cantaloupes, 3 of them to be precise, and says, "Guys, I found something more useful than a new act for Avery Circus." Says he, "That's I'm gonna need some practice if I'm gonna try and juggle these." But they'll be very tasty, so maybe we'll just do that instead. But I found something more useful than that, so we can come back to juggling cantaloupe later. You see, the person whom we are looking for is a recent appearance upon the island, only a few days. But they do not hang out with others of their age. We're not seen arriving on a boat.
So then, do we know where they're seen?
That sounds like something
Are
that
they
we could
seen?
ask.
I mean, that is a thing that we could ask more about, yes. I know the fruit vendor, he's very nice. He gave me these cantaloupes. And the information. They are related.
All right.
Well,
Let me
maybe
go
not
talk to
the
this fruit
information.
vendor. Take me to the fruit vendor.
The hero will dutifully lead the physician to the fruit vendor.
It's a bit of a shame you said fruit instead of vegetables because given the roundness, we could have absolutely cabbages this guy.
I'd rather see the hero juggle the cabbages.
My
Oh.
cabbages.
Alright, so the man who appears to be of for simplicity, fantasy Chinese descent. Oh, you are back. You want to purchase more?
No, we do not wish to purchase more. I just have a few more questions about this teenager.
Oh, young boy, like short black hair. No?
Yes. You said he does not hang out with other children his own age. What exactly is he doing? Where is he hanging out? Spending his time? Where are you seeing him at?
He talked to no one. He talked to no one in particular. But I see him most often on other side of the river.
Is there a certain time of day you see him over there?
Mornings and evenings when I come to open shop and close shop.
And always by himself. He's never with anybody else.
There was one time I saw him with elf woman. Very thick accent. Could not tell what say, but also not care what say. Had to come open shop.
An elf
Very.
woman, you say? I've followed.
She.
Okay. And the accent was hard to understand. Was her accent like mine?
Similar, but no, not like yours.
If you do not mind, I have this thing I can do, and I'd like to see what you saw, if that's all right.
Sir, what do? What do?
So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my hands on the side of your head, just for a moment. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm gonna basically do the headbutting thing without actually doing the headbutting thing. I'm just gonna put my fingers on there and just see if I can see the woman that the teenager was talking to.
All right. So what are the stats for a peasant? Yes.
All base 10s.
And you are correct. You saw Isling like kind of tense up, like, oh no, like wait a minute, no.
How does this not have peasants in here? Oh well. It's probably a bunch of 10s anyway, since that's average. So
Yeah.
I say roll a straight to d20.
A straight d20?
Yes.
An 11.
The most you can get from this person is that they are wearing like a cloak, so you can't see much. Like their face is covered, but you can see like the ears like do like poke the sides of the hood, so that's how you can tell it's an elf. And
is there any hair coming out from the hood anywhere?
Yeah, so some hair coming out from the hood. Also, the person has like a bunch of wrappings around the waist to make the chest appear more flat.
Mm. Okay, I'm gonna let go. Thank you. We will enjoy your fruit.
And so here we'll, yes, thank you very much for the additional information. I'll also buy, does he have any apples?
Yes.
I'll buy an apple because I feel like that snack is appropriate for this moment in the investigation.
Okay, I think I will say like, so for the 3, it was like, how much silver did I say the 3 fruit were?
Balancer.
1.
I think you said it was 1 silver for the 3.
Okay, so for the 1 apple, probably another 2 copper.
And as soon as I have rightfully purchased this apple, I will take to eating it, regardless of how the physician feels about apples.
Physician likes apples. It's the 11th one that doesn't. He doesn't like pears. What did I inhale?
Oh no, it's silicosis.
Anyway.
No turning into a quickly building. No.
Right. I'm a crystal now.
And think of it like this: if it does happen, it'd be a great scientific discovery.
What was that?
It's handy that I just happen to have a concrete nodule right here.
Okay, so the accent was similar to mine, but not the same.
I think, from what I could see in his mind, that she was trying to hide the fact that she was a she. That she had wrappings around her to try and make her look flatter chested. Her face was covered, though she was wearing a cloak with a hood.
Hair color?
What's the hair color?
Brown.
Brown.
Did the skin tone of the ears have a weird color, or did it look normal?
I couldn't see the ears, but they were kind of moving the hood out, as elf ears do.
Sounds like we have a little more to go off of. Shall we go to the other side of the river then?
Probably.
Maybe our next bet.
What time of day is it?
Yeah.
Probably like noon.
I mean, we'll probably want to go to the other side of the river. I think it'll be more prudent if we wait until evening, because he said he was seeing him more often in the mornings and the evenings.
But
Now,
we'll
he
want to
may
get
hang
there
out there.
first.
Yes, well, but do we want to go there now and wait there several hours, or maybe give ourselves like an hour?
Yes. We probably don't need to go there now, but we should be prudent in getting there first.
Yes.
Should report our findings so far.
That would be a good
That's
idea.
not a half bad idea.
Not much to report.
Okay,
Yeah.
what is the general how the crowds, the people, what is their general
Demeanor?
Demeanor?
yeah.
Roll on insight.
Jigs.
I mean we haven't had we weren't told anything about, you know, any riots in the streets yet, so that's good.
Yeah.
Air tense, we shall find out. Insight. Oh, I got a great insight. 28! Woohoo!
There is definitely gossip about how what happened last night is the second attack, at least from the citizens' perspective, on the citizens in 2 days. Since rumor is that there were some, like, a group of people with like bird masks and feathered cloaks that started that fire. But that this was different, so maybe whoever started that fire the other night, they're changing tactics. Okay, maybe, but you know, what's the island council going to do about this? Well, well, didn't you see the post on the trading post? It said that those with armor and can wear them are supposed to wear them, and those with weapons are supposed to carry their weapons with them. So what, we're supposed to fend for ourselves?
The horror.
Did we universally come to a land of adventurers that want to retire for something?
Not all our adventures. There's lots of shopkeepers. We've met many.
When I was drilling Avery for every possible scrap of information that he got out of his guy before he murdered him, did he mention the word revolution? I would assume so, because that was one of the things that Johannes.
But you know, just like, so here you've heard nothing about a supposed revolution. It doesn't even sound like anything that would resemble said revolution.
Perfect. That's the sort of thing I'm
La
doing. I keep
révolution.
my ears to the ground. I listen to everybody.
Well, my thought is, what would be? This place is so new. What would we be inciting a revolution against?
Maybe it's against the pub being built in a dragon lair.
How many people know about the public?
Perhaps people don't like the fact that or don't like the prime minister or the council.
I don't care much about revolution in general. If you just listen to the people.
Oh, that's good to know.
Whatever the goal was, it's clearly not working, or clearly not so
popular,
above ground, or popular. Yes.
Or maybe that was a tactic that they used to lure Johannes in, thinking that he would be more revolutionary because he's a circus. I'm not trying to shed any shady light on on your people, Avery. It's just trying to think of something different.
Just said that to make it sound like you're doing something important.
Yeah, basically.
Don't think this is about a revolution. Believe me, I've seen lots of revolutions. And this is not ringing like one of those. This is more of a
Espionage?
really bad young adult novel.
Personally, of the
What?
opinion that the best revolutions involve players and small amounts of magic that make, so then they rotate.
Really bad.
You've
We
never
got
seen
used
a rotating cake platter. It is a true novelty.
I thought you said pink bladder. You make no sense.
It's good for all sorts of other appetizers and delectables as well.
I have no idea what's going on over there, but I just love that both the women are just like, what?
Avery was also like, what?
Yeah, Jonah's over here trying to like slowly sipping her coffee, thinking, maybe I should get lunch. Also, why would they attack? Why would they just randomly attack a circus? It can't be specific. It doesn't make sense. It has
I
to
want to
be. And
free
then I
the
hear, and then I
animals!
hear young adult novel. I'm like, wait, what? What
First
is
off,
that? And what is that? What does
I
that do
know,
with
like, the
anything?
concept of novel is just, like, not there.
Like I understand the term young adult. I mean, like that makes sense, but it's like I don't understand what the physician's saying. I don't understand what Sakir's saying.
I'll have to show you guys the concept later. I'm sure I can recreate it.
The cake platter. Yes.
It's one of those, I know all the words separately, but when you put them together, they seem to mean something else that I'm
For the
not
best
sure of.
revolution ever.
Why are we talking about a pick? Did you say pick platter?
A cake platter. The best revolutions are cake platters. They
Cake
just slowly
platter?
turn around. It's great.
Oh. I mean, you're not wrong. I prefer planetary, though.
So are we going to stake out now, or
The hero
stake out in
like
an
give you
hour?
the benefit of the doubt, but he's also not a cake.
Probably, I'd say we get there like an hour or so before evening sets in, so maybe like 3.
We're maybe gonna start by reporting to Tora first.
Yeah. Well, no. Avery had asked what time we wanted to be on the other side of the river.
I mean, we do want to report anyway.
Yeah, but no, I agree with the decision. I think that's a good. That's a good amount of time.
We can also tell her to be on the lookout for that suspicious bag. More trustworthy eyes.
Guess I just remembered it. Another thing that you would have heard in the rumors here is that, yeah, apparently, like, you know Joy, like the baker, like apparently, like she's been assigned like the defense minister while that Daehoon fella is out, and she's apparently like starting a police force.
Oh my gosh. My friend is helping her mother grade physics midterms. And she's like, I am suffering psychic damage. There's one question. It's a full page. 50 points. Somebody left it blank.
50 points?
She says,
It's an outdoor exam.
She goes, send them to the mines because school ain't working.
What level of physics is this?
It's not even that hard. Listen to this question. So we have a picture. We have block B, which is 100 grams, and block A, which is 50 grams, and there's a hand pushing block A into block B with an arrow over it saying constant V. The question says 2 blocks are pushed by a hand on top of a table. A, draw a complete force diagram for each block, labels and equality marks. B, write on blank by blank force interaction statements. C, write a parallel and perpendicular equations for each block. D, circle the third law of pairs. And E, write the third law equation. Now, whether you've taken physics or whatever, this is very basic force math.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, like, that sounds like the stuff we covered in Physics 1, level 101.
Yeah.
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 Physics, but it does sound simple enough.
It's been a while since I took physics, and I'd have to brush up on a couple of those pieces, but that sounds very doable.
And
Yeah.
there was one person for one of them that drew a little anime picture and said, I don't know what you mean by draw a picture. It's literally just asking, it looks like it's just asking for like a math diagram. Because she's like, the diagram you've been drawing all damn year. And she's supposed to give these kids as many points as possible. But they're making it so hard.
What grade is this? Like, is this
No. I really hope this isn't like an honors class.
like? Please don't tell me this is an honors class or a collegiate class. Like,
Just like when I think of the kids, I think of how they need to go back to middle school.
maybe a high school.
I mean, I once really wrote a really long rant about the way that the AP
She doesn't know what
literature
grade they're in.
worked. So, in an AP test, that
Well,
test didn't go well.
her mother teaches high school, so they're at least somewhere between 9th and 12th grade.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking. Like a high school age.
Yeah.
Between 9th and 12th, and between.
Okay, so she's
basic
saying
physics
early
and
high
AP.
school, so probably freshman or sophomore.
Okay.
Either way, I mean,
So
These people are going to be in charge of voting in a few years.
oh god.
That's okay. There's 300 other million people that can water down those votes.
I feel bad for the state of New Jersey because there's nobody to water that down. Because they're probably all like that.
I'm surprised you'd think they'd vote in the first place.
Exactly.
but that is how accurate that is.
I mean, earlier I heard that like one way that we could become a one-party state is by having all those criminal aliens like voting for one particular party, because we're not supposed to check identification. Like no voter ID.
I mean, the dead are already voting, and I doubt they care. Sorry, now I'm just picturing like clerics bringing the dead back and then just being like, "Who do you vote for? Mickey Mouse." Do you know how many times Mickey Mouse would be president of the United States if we did it by popular vote?
Way too many to count.
More than 0, which makes it unacceptable.
Pretty much.
So there's a town in Wyoming who's had a dog for their mayor for the last like 30 years, or not 30 years, like 20 years or something like that. Like basically the dog's whole life.
Mhm.
Yep.
Now
Sounds about
the
right.
population of the town is probably like 30 people, so and they're probably all related, but I still think it's funny.
Okay, so
Cool
is there
beans.
anything that you want to do in particular
Can I
before you go to the
It's
stakeout?
No.
Lunch.
The stakeout?
Like, is there gonna be a barbecue?
I thought you scribbling in your paper, I'm guessing, so you've already reported to Tora?
Yes. I was just writing.
Was there any response?
Well, what did it say specifically?
That we know that there was a teenager with black hair talking to an elf. It was a straight elf, right?
Yeah.
I want to make sure I'm remembering right. We were first told that a circus person saw him talking to a male elf.
Mhm.
We weren't able to get more information though because Avery had the guy killed. So we went and started asking around town, and a vendor told us he saw this same teenager talking to an elf woman on the other side of the river once. But he spends a lot of his time in the evenings and the mornings on the other side of the river, so we're gonna go stake it out to see if he shows up tonight. I think that basically covers what we did. The important bits, at least.
Alright. So at some point during the day, like, Avery takes a look at the sending stone he was given. It's like, why the fruit does this say I have a gold star? Like, from the Prime Minister, from this. Well, let me. Okay. Quote, from the Prime Minister, you get a gold star. Tora. What is that supposed to mean?
I'm gonna write her a message, be like, that's not funny.
You checked his sending stuff to see if he got any cool messages.
Yeah, it
Oh, that's right,
says
Chase,
you
that's
also got a
right.
gold star. You don't think it means anything, just it's from the Prime Minister.
Oh. Here, I'm trying to give you scritches. You do not need to be a jerk.
Equivalent of just the Prime Minister will
Got a
remember
gold
that.
star.
I was saying, I'm gonna pull my sending stone out and kind of look at it. It's like, I'm gonna be very confused if I have the same, or if I have any message, honestly.
I mean, you didn't send anything and it wasn't mentioned about you. So,
it's just blank. Okay.
Yeah. The message you get back, physician, is it wasn't a joke. It's Prime Minister Tong said that the guy has been punished. That's good enough.
I know it's not a joke. I don't know why everybody has to go to the punishing immediately in this freaking town. Brand new. Oh, what is it? Oh, it's a cookie.
Does the physician say that out loud?
Yeah. Oh, the physician talks to himself all the time. He doesn't.
Now, Joan will kind of like lean over, they just started making a police force. It doesn't sound like they have anything put together around here.
Was the what race was the guy who was punished?
Human.
Oh, that's not as funny. Damn.
What would have made it funnier?
No, it's just like human lives matter.
First, I will ask Sahir, do you utilize your chef feed at all during this point?
Yes, I must prepare confections in order to spin on a plate.
Okay, so are you using that? Well, I suppose there's no point in it since it's about recovering hit points, and thus far no one's taken damage.
But I do prepare them, and I put them on a plate, and then I use my mage hand to slowly spin the plate.
What is it you prepared and put on a plate? A cake or cakes?
Small cakes of some sort.
Okay,
Confections.
so about an hour before sunset, you all
Put it in the middle of the group and just
you get done
Getting
with what business you want done, and head over to the area where the physician saw the teenager.
anybody there currently.
Roll perception.
Da-da-da. That's a 19. Bank. Hold on.
15.
That actually
Oh
do
no,
good
I
roll.
lied. Yes, 19.
So 15,
24.
24.
22!
So no one here yet.
Excellent. Perfect time to either set up and hide or set up and distract. I think I figured that juggling act, guys. I don't know if that's what we need right now, but I think I figured it out.
I don't think that's what we need right now.
I think what we need to do is find a place to hide.
Or
Well, we can pick a place to hide route, or we can hide in plain sight.
hold on, I'm just gonna see if they're in my bag.
This is some interesting dice.
Mine?
Yeah.
They have little dinosaurs in them.
Yay!
They're ghost dinosaurs. They're for a necromancer.
Very cool. Yeah, we should probably take our time and actually hide and wait.
I only have one on me. Okay. Well, so I'm gonna take this sort of. They look kind of like dog tags. I just wrap them around me, and then I'm just going to stand like near a tree. Not necessarily hunkering down or anything. But what it is it's a perception filter. So basically, it gives everyone disadvantage at seeing me. I'm not invisible, but your brain kind of is like, oh, I don't think there's actually anything there.
Your brain,
There's nothing relevant
your
there.
brain glosses over you.
Yes, exactly.
So you get your own miniature false Hydra.
Yeah, sort of.
See here. What does the cover look like around us?
The cover?
Yes.
You're pretty much like on the edge of town, so this is so there's a lot of grass and some shrubbery. So,
All grass?
Yeah, tall grass.
Bring me a shrubbery.
Me.
Find the tallest
Alrighty.
tree in the
I
forest and
will,
cut it down with a herring.
I will choose to hide myself by just lying down in the grass. downward pin.
All right. Avery will take out a lute, will strum a few chords, and will turn invisible.
Useful.
John tries to find a decent looking bush.
Idling's gonna do the same thing. Like, I'm gonna try and find either some brush or a good solid tree to be behind. Or up in. What kind of trees are by this river? Like, is the foliage at the top of the trees, like, enough to hide yourself in?
Are there trees by the river?
Yeah, so
Well, it's just standing next to a tree.
so you could think of this as kind of a Mediterranean-esque climate.
Okay.
So
Oh,
That's probably a no. I'd probably be better with bush.
So, everyone, go ahead and roll stealth checks.
Ooh.
Actually, that did hit that, so... Okay, yeah.
That's not bad.
I got a dirty 20.
23.
19.
16.
Even better.
Okay. Nope, that's the wrong app. There. Did anyone get below a 16?
Village right now and also suffering.
Below 16? No.
No?
What?
Impressive.
Everyone got above 16 or higher.
Yes.
Yep.
Alright. So you're waiting there for quite a bit before you hear like someone like walking up from like perhaps like the other side of a slope. So say that you're all like right here and there's like a slope of a hill here. Sounds like someone's coming up from this side.
I don't want to give away my position by sitting up, so I'm going to, unless I actually see them, trust that my teammates will see them and continue to listen.
Those of you that are in a position to see will see a humanoid teenage boy, probably like 18, 17, 18, or 19 years old. Just like crest the slope and just like look out over the town. He is like squinting a bit because the sun's almost directly in his eyes at this point. But after a minute, he just like sits down and just like begins like working or doing something on the ground.
Is what he's doing visible to anyone?
Roll perception.
I'd also like to roll perception.
I'm going to say, is he close enough that I'd be able to tell any of this?
You can see the top of his head when he was standing.
I'm also rolling perception.
10. I don't think I can see anything more than that.
I'm going to
9.
roll perception for things I can hear. That's a nat 20.
Dang.
For a total of.
For 26.
Yes.
9.
So that was a 9.
I got a 9. He got a 26.
Nat 20.
On what he can hear.
So the two rogues have over 25.
17.
Is he a rogue and a bard?
Yes.
Mhm.
That's why he was talking to you in Thieves' Cant.
I figured it could also be learned, but
So John, you had 17, I think.
Yep.
What did the physician get?
Just a 10.
So, none of you are really able to make out what he is writing. At least, none of you PCs are able to see what he's like doing on the ground. But here's with that natural 20. You're able to hear like what you hear is a guttural language.
It's Hebrew. I just know it.
What languages do you know?
Common, Elvish, Urabic, Turchian, and Yamoto.
Okay. He is muttering in a language that, and sometimes the sounds are sounds that you don't think a normal humanoid could make.
I wish that comprehend languages didn't have a vocal component.
High or low? So here.
Low.
So some of these sounds that you've heard before were sounds that some of your customers that knew Draconic made.
Okay. Interesting. That would kind of make sense that I could recognize the language even if I couldn't understand and speak it.
Mhm.
I like it.
Makes sense.
Well, that high or low was just to see if this was something that you have heard before.
Makes sense.
And I think, unfortunately, Avery does not have. No, he does not. He is common and halfling.
I could totally probably figure this out, but well, I wasn't listening. I was looking. I suppose I could try to listen when I realize I can't see.
Yeah.
See what happens. That was not really that much better. That was a 16.
Well, you can. What you hear is definitely Draconic. But he is kind of muttering to himself. You think you might have gone like, when is that elf going to get here? Or something to that effect. And he speaks it flawlessly.
Hmm.
I continue to remain completely motionless as I think back for just a second to our rotating cake platter from earlier.
As soon as you realize you don't understand what he's saying, your mind drifts.
It's like, and cake.
I'm waiting for a change in the cadence.
Which way is our human?
I don't have to
face?
move. I can imagine movement. And right
He's
now, the
sitting there
movement I'm
looking.
imagining is cake platters.
So he was like looking in the direction of town, but when he like sat down, he was kind of like pointing himself directly down the hill or down the slope.
We should have kind of decided where we were all like, I don't know where we all are in relation to him at this point.
Yeah,
He's got to be kind of close. I could see his head when I was laying on the ground.
yeah. So you're not that far away. You're definitely closer to him than you are the town.
Okay. Well, is he facing me or
Uh,
away from me or
he's not directly facing you. He is. If you're
He's
You can
Your
see him
facing
in
view
the.
profile.
is like forward and to the left.
okay.
So we can see him only in profile, basically.
Pretty much.
He's facing the town.
No, he's facing directly down the hill,
Right.
which is perpendicular to the. So you're the guys here.
So he looks over, but he's not anymore.
So guys here, you're here. Talon's like right there.
I have no clue where downwind is. I just know that's where Sierra went.
Then you'd be somewhat behind him, since the wind is kind of like going in a spiral. So he's facing into the wind.
Okay. Waiting on the elf. Not gonna do anything yet. It's important that the elf shows up. Hopefully.
No, that hit the desk. Stop hitting the desk.
No.
Okay.
How
Yes.
when I'm just not familiar with sending stones, but if Joan was to whisper into hers, would it be audible to just the holder, or would it be audible ambiently?
That is an excellent question. And given what time it is, I think we'll save that for an answer during the week.
Okay.
Yeah, I think generally it's just to the user, because it's kind of like the sending spell, where if you do that, only the user is going to hear it. Because I've used them before. Funny thing is I actually use sending stones in for my druid characters.
After a bit, the teenager just like, and he like
He's the
stands
dragon,
up.
isn't he? He's not actually human. He's a dragon in disguise. Just know it. He's sus. I'm gonna
Actually,
incite him.
Okay, we'll make this the last rolls of the night. Hopefully.
Okay, sorry. 31.
You're looking at him. It's definitely not human. Not any humanoid you know.
I know humans. He doesn't smell human.
And
Certainly doesn't talk like one.
doesn't talk like one, and he's also like sniffing the air at this point, which most people they don't have that good. They don't have that great of sense of smell.
And the rest of us don't smell anything weird like the town burning down or anything like that.
Nope.
I mean,
Or cherry blossom.
And you'll hear from the town like, "Oi, yay, oi, boy," and that's what we'll call it.